March 19, 1919. New Orleans, Louisiana. Midnight. A woman screamed from a tiny house on the corner. Glass shattered. Blood covered the floor. She ran to the street in her nightgown, holding her face. Her husband was still inside. But he wasn't moving. The air smelled like smoke and iron. It was hot, even at night. Too quiet. She could hear footsteps, slow, heavy, walking away. This wasn't the first time someone was attacked like this. It wouldn't be the last. The killer didn't use a gun. Or a knife. He used an axe. And he came in the dark. No one saw his face. But everyone felt his fear. Why did he do it? Why did he leave some people alive? And why did he write a letter to the whole city? This is a true story. You can find the facts yourself. Subscribe to Unbelievable True Story. Because monsters don't live in movies. They live next door. And the next story might be about someone just like you. May 23, 1918. New Orleans, Louisiana. 4 a.m. It was quiet. Too quiet. Most of the city was still asleep. But inside one small corner grocery store, something awful was happening. Joseph Maggio and his wife, Catherine, were in bed. They were not rich. They were not famous. Just two normal people trying to live a quiet life. Joseph ran the grocery store. Catherine helped at home. That night, they went to sleep like they always did. But they never woke up. Someone had broken in. Not through the front door. Not even through the windows. The killer took out a panel from the back door. Carefully. Slowly. Quietly. He had been watching them. Then, he struck. The killer used an axe. Joseph and Catherine were hit in the head, over and over. Blood covered the walls, the floor, the sheets. It was like a nightmare. Except it was real. The strange part? The axe was left behind. The killer didn't steal money. He didn't take anything at all. He just killed. Then vanished. The next morning, people in the neighborhood saw police cars and heard whispers. Did you hear what happened to the Maggios? Someone killed them. In their sleep. With an axe. It didn't feel real. Who would do such a thing? And why? Detectives searched the house. They found the bloody axe. It belonged to Joseph. The killer had used the couple's own axe against them. There were no fingerprints. No footprints. No sounds heard by neighbors. Just silence. And death. Police had no leads. No suspects. No answers. But the fear had already begun to spread. June 28, 1918. Just before sunrise. Louis Bessumer ran a small grocery store too. He lived in the back room with his partner, Harriet Lowe. That morning, a delivery man knocked. No one answered. He looked through the window. Then he saw the blood. He screamed and ran for help. Police broke open the door. What they saw was just like the Maggio case. Louis had been hit in the head with an axe. So had Harriet. Both were somehow still alive. Barely. Blood was everywhere. The axe was found in the bathroom. Again, it belonged to the victim. Again, the killer had taken out part of the door to get in. Same method. Same weapon. Same silence. The axeman had struck again. Word spread fast. The newspaper called the killer the Axeman. People were afraid. They locked their doors. Kept lights on at night. Some people even slept with weapons under their pillows. New Orleans had seen crime before. But this felt different. This was evil. This was personal. Police couldn't find a pattern. The victims weren't rich. They weren't enemies. They were just normal. And almost all of them were grocers. Many were Italian-American. Was the killer targeting small business owners? Or was it something worse? Some people said he was a madman. Others believed he was a demon. One man said, "He doesn't kill to steal. He kills to send a message." But what message? Harriet Lowe, the woman attacked with Louis Bessumer, survived for a few weeks. She was badly hurt. But she was able to speak to police. She said she saw a shadow. A man. Big. Quiet. In the dark. But she couldn't describe his face. She later died from her injuries. Whatever she saw, she took to the grave. August 5, 1918. Anna Schneider was 8 months pregnant. Her husband was working late. She went to bed alone. That night, the axeman came again. But this time, something strange happened. Anna survived. Her scalp had been cut open. Her face was bleeding. But the baby inside her was alive. And so was she. The weapon was different this time. A lamp, not an axe. But the police believed it was still him. Same method. Same silence. No robbery. Anna couldn't remember the attack. But she said something chilling. "I felt him there. I didn't see him. But I knew he was there." Now people were really scared. Mothers wouldn't let their children play outside. Men stayed up at night with rifles. Grocery store owners started carrying guns behind the counter. Everyone in New Orleans was waiting for something. Waiting for the next knock. The next scream. The next pool of blood. But no one expected what came next. Because the axeman wrote a letter. To the city. To the people. To everyone. And it was worse than anyone could imagine. March 13, 1919. New Orleans, Louisiana. It had been a few months since the last attack. People started to relax again. Maybe it was over. Maybe the killer was gone. Then the newspaper printed something strange. A letter. It was long. It was written like a joke, but it wasn't funny. It came from someone who said he was the killer. He called himself, the Axeman. And he said something no one expected. Here is part of what the letter said. "They have never caught me and they never will. They never see me, for I am invisible. I am not a human being, but a demon from the hottest hell. I am what you Orleanians call the Axeman." That was just the beginning. He wrote about how much he loved jazz music. Then he gave the people of New Orleans a warning. "On the night of March 19th, I will pass over the city. I will not harm anyone who is playing jazz. If you want to live, play jazz. Loud. All night." The letter was signed. "Yours truly, the Axeman." The next day, the city was in shock. Some people laughed. But most people were afraid. Was it real? Was he coming back? No one wanted to take the risk. So, on the night of March 19th, 1919, something strange happened. As the sun went down, New Orleans came alive. People opened windows. They brought out record players. Musicians stood on street corners and rooftops. They played jazz all night long. Saxophones. Drums. Trumpets. Musical score pianos. From the rich neighborhoods to the poorest streets, everyone played something. Even the hospitals. Even the jails. The whole city danced with fear. One man said, "It sounded like a party. But it felt like a funeral." That night, no one was killed. The Axeman didn't strike. The letter scared everyone. But it also raised big questions. Who wrote it? Was it really the killer? Was it a sick joke? Or was it a message from something darker? Some people thought it was the work of a madman. Others thought it was a way to control the city. A reporter wrote, "The Axeman may be laughing somewhere. Or maybe, he was right there in the street. Dancing to the music. Watching." The city felt safe again for a while. But it didn't last. On August 10, 1919, the Axeman struck again. This time, he attacked a grocer named Steve Boca. Just like before, he broke into the home quietly. He used an axe. He hit Steve in the head. But Steve lived. He didn't see the man. Didn't hear him come in. Didn't know he was there, until it was too late. Same weapon. Same way in. Same silence. The Axeman was back. In the weeks that followed, more attacks came. Sarah Lawman was attacked in her sleep. She survived, but her jaw was broken. She had no idea who did it. Then, a few months later, came the worst one yet. October 27, 1919. A man named Mike Pepitone was sleeping at home. His wife and kids were in the other room. Suddenly, a crash. A scream. Mike's wife ran in and saw him lying on the bed. He was bleeding. Badly. Blood on the walls. On the floor. On the ceiling. He didn't make it. The killer had escaped. Again. That was the last known attack by the Axeman. After that night, he was never seen again. Police were lost. The people were angry. So many victims. So few answers. Why jazz? Why grocers? Why New Orleans? Was it personal? Or was it random? Was it a man? Or something else? One woman said, "He came and went like a ghost. But the fear he left behind never left." New Orleans moved on. New families grew. New buildings were built. But the story of the Axeman never died. Even today, people in the city whisper about that night. The night the city danced to stay alive. After the Axeman stopped, New Orleans changed. People locked their windows. They double-bolted their doors. They didn't walk alone at night. Jazz music, once a joy, became a shield. Every note reminded people. We played this to stay alive. Families moved away. Store owners closed for good. People whispered, even in the daylight. One woman said, "He didn't just break into our homes. He broke into our minds." Some people lived through the attacks. But they never healed. Anna Schneider, who was pregnant during her attack, gave birth weeks later. But she never smiled again. Charles and Rosie Cortimiglia lost their baby. They moved far away, and never spoke to reporters again. Rosie was blamed for a time. Imagine that. A mother who lost her baby. Then blamed for it. The Axeman didn't just kill. He left broken lives. Broken families. Broken trust. Some of the homes are still there. People walk by slowly. Some say they feel cold when they pass. Others say the walls still hold screams. One house on Upperline Street is now a shop. The owner says she hears music at night. Jazz music. But she doesn't own a radio. After the jazz letter in March 1919, people waited. Would he write again? Would he name names? Would he explain why? But no letter came. No goodbye. No confession. Just silence. That silence was worse than words. Because silence means he could still be out there. Years later, in 1921, in another Louisiana town, a grocer was murdered. Killed with an axe. The back door broken. Nothing was stolen. The police wrote. It reminds us of the Axeman. But they never proved it. They never solved it. And then, nothing. No more murders like that. Some believe that last killing was his return. One final strike. One final scare. Like a ghost, coming back to show. I'm still here. Others think it was a copycat. Someone trying to be like the Axeman. Someone trying to finish his story. But no one knows. This question haunts everyone. Why stop when no one could catch you? He had the power. The control. The fear. So, why end it? Maybe he got sick. Maybe he died. Or maybe he just got what he wanted. Attention. Control. His name in the papers. His legend in the streets. Have you heard this story before? What do you think really happened in New Orleans? Let us know in the comments. Because your theory might unlock the truth. And if stories like this leave you chilled, subscribe now to Unbelievable True Story. Because every week, we dig deeper into the world's most chilling crimes. And the next one might be even closer than you think.